Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in again. We are Side Picks. I'm Red Samples. That's Austin Harris. Let's dive right in. Starting off with the NBA. James Harden and Chris Paul. Will they ever reach the mountaintop?
Well, I mean, James Harden, he's gonna have to step it up, Game 6 and Game 7, or if not, he's gonna have to just go for the sweep. I mean, James Harden was on probably one of the best teams he's been on outside of whenever he played with the Rockets. You could argue that might have been the best team he was on. This should have been the year that James Harden got over the hump. I mean, this Clippers team was loaded with talent all over. So I don't know. I'd love to see James Harden get there, but he's going to have to step up when it matters most, and that's where James Harden has struggled his entire career, is stepping up when his team needed him most.
I don't think he will. Same thing with Chris Paul. I mean, we've seen players before. Case in point, Carmelo Anthony. When you start jumping team to team, like, it's so hard to find a fit that actually fits your mold, and you win and make it to the championship. They're both going to play on good teams. They're both going to be playoff teams most of the time. Obviously, Chris Paul didn't make it this go around, but I just don't see it. I like James Harden as a player. I mean, he's one of the guys that, whenever he's playing at his best, he obviously has a really good shot. He can facilitate well. I just don't think he makes it. I think he's going to keep bound. He'll probably find another team after next year and give it one more chance, and he's just not going to make it. And it's unfortunate because he is a really good player and deserves it.
It is unfortunate because he's had some really big playoff moments. He's just not been able to capitalize and get to that NBA Finals, which we've seen Chris Paul get to the NBA Finals. He just didn't. Giannis took over and stole the championship right out from underneath the Suns. But
that team was one that everybody thought they were going to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely thought the Suns were going to win that one. For sure.
Everybody thought Chris Paul was finally getting his ring, and Giannis definitely coming there and took it away from him. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, I don't see it. I would love to see it, but I don't see it happening. Moving on, Knicks Celtics. Who comes out on top in this series?
Well, obviously, me and you ain't gonna see eye to eye here. You got the Celtics fan, Knicks fan. So I'm rolling with the Knicks. I think it's gonna be tough. This is a must-watch series, in my opinion. Really, you got Tatum, Jalen Brunson, two of the most clutchest players in the league. Always step up when their team needs them. I mean, the Celtics they got a really good team. Obviously, we've seen like the Celtics, winning the championship, and looks like they may be in line for going back to back. But man, the Knicks step up when it matters. Karl-Anthony Towns, when that guy locks in, he can shoot from anywhere on the court. Doesn't matter where it's at. It's gonna be a fun series to watch. I'm taking the Knicks because I'm biased. If I wasn't biased, I mean, it's just hard. It's hard to beat that Celtics team, bro. That Celtics team's good.
For sure. I mean, as a Celtics fan, I love to see it. We have the firepower to play with any team. As far as it goes with the Knicks, I do love the fact that they're very gritty. They will play hard nosed defense and will make you they'll make you earn every opportunity on the floor. I just don't think in a 7-game series that they can keep up scoring points. I mean, you lock down Tatum, Brown takes over. You lock down Brown, Tatum takes over. You find a way to take both of them over, then here comes Porzingis. Thank you for that acquisition. I love that.
Yeah, that Porzingis Karl-Anthony Towns matchup, it's gonna be pretty fun to watch.
Oh, for sure. This is by far, like you said, this is definitely going to be one of the series that, without question, is going to be one to watch, and it's going to be one of the best of this playoff run.
It's two best teams in the East. That's my opinion. You can say the Cavaliers are in there, but no, there's the two best teams in the East.
That's tough. It'd be pretty close between Cleveland and New York. Cleveland's been so good. And it's weird watching Lillard in that regard almost play as the 2 rather than the 1 behind Garland. But Garland's been the one. I mean, they've been neck and neck essentially scoring points. But you just in previous seasons, just watching Donovan Mitchell take over in games and be that guy, it's just weird to see, him taking the back seat from the one
Like
spot.
that
So,
is, yeah, Donovan Mitchell is he's a stud, bro.
stud for sure.
Darius Garland stepping up. Like that Cleveland East is going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. This Knicks Celtics game, though, in my opinion, determines who's going to reach the NBA Finals.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, without a doubt, between us, what we're walking right through whoever comes through Cleveland or Indiana, and from the looks of it, it may be Indiana. Uh,
Bro, Tyrese Halliburton. Whew, whoa, that man. He's on a mission right now.
he, I mean, and he's a guy. I mean, he's been good for a long time. That Pacers team, even though they're coming in mid, just because of the talent in the East, that's a team. That's a very underestimated team, in my opinion. And I truly feel like if there's a team, if off that side of the bracket was going to be the Bucks or the Heat to beat them, it was definitely going to be the Pacers if they're going to take them in a 7-game series.
Yeah, I think we're looking at Indiana and Cleveland going 7 games.
Oh yeah, 100%. It doesn't help that the Pacers stole one without Garland on the floor tonight, but again, it is what it is. Rounding out NBA, our round two playoff matchups. We already covered Cleveland and Indiana. We obviously just talked about New York and Boston. We've got OKC and Denver. What you thinking there?
I'm taking Denver, bro. I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, OKC, but they're young. This Denver team is a tough team. With what Russell Westbrook adds as a dynamic to this team, like he can run with anybody in the NBA. He can run the court. He can run all day long, and he's just going to give them problems. We've seen what he did. He gave the Clippers problems there, especially in Game 7. I mean, the Joker. I just don't see how the Thunder is going to have an answer for Denver. And I mean, you're almost probably looking at a sweep. It may be 5 games.
I don't disagree per se, but I do like sticking to my guns whenever I predict this stuff early on. And man, even though I like Denver and they have the experience over OKC, OKC just the way they manage the floor and the way SGA facilitates that offense and is able to score on you every single way on the floor. Like I think it's more than likely going to be a 6-game series, and whoever steals these first 2 games probably is the team that comes out on top.
Yeah,
Uh, we obviously don't have the winner of the Rockets and Golden State yet, so
Golden State's
Golden
Golden State.
State more than likely is taking this
Yeah,
with 10 points left. So next round matchup, unless something crazy happens, we got the 7 seed Warriors against the 6 seed Timberwolves.
kind of wild. Got a 6 and a 7. This is going to be another must-watch series, in my opinion, because like whoever comes out of this series winning, they're going to be beat up with the Warriors and the Timberwolves. They're going to beat each other up, and then you're going to have to go up against another really good team, either the Thunder or the Nuggets. So it's going to be tough whoever wins this series to even get to the NBA Finals. But I mean, Anthony Edwards must watch TV anytime he's
He's
out there.
he's on a mission, man. He saw that.
Especially if you like tune in and you're like, oh, the Timberwolves are down 10 points with 5 minutes left. You might want to turn it on. It's probably the best time to turn it on because Anthony Edwards
Right.
is about to take over. But then on the other side of that, you got the flip side. You're down 10 points with 5 minutes left. Steph Curry must watch TV. So this is going to be a really fun series. I'm taking the Warriors. The Warriors are my team out of the West to get to the championship. So I'm going to have to stick with the Warriors. I mean, when you got Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, you're going to be a tough team to beat against anybody in the NBA, especially when you're going for gold. You know what I'm saying? Like regular season,
Oh
you
yeah.
might get. That's why the Warriors come in as a 7 seed. You may get them in the regular season, but when it comes time to go for gold, this Warriors team is going to be tough to beat, man.
I think I'm gonna ride the Timberwolves train. Anthony Edwards, he's taking on that persona as the legend killer. He obviously just knocked off Luka and LeBron. Last year he took out Jokic and he took out actually I don't remember who else he took out last year, but he took out somebody else. Oh yeah, KD. Um, man, this is gonna be fun, and I think Anthony Edwards, he's gonna make it his mission to try to make it 4 or 5 games against uh, Golden State. Now, does he make it? Probably not. I still see this being a 6 or 7 game series because it's going to be hard with Steph and Jimmy playing the way they are to knock them out in 4 or 5 games. But Anthony Edwards, legend killer, he's on a mission. I love to see it.
I love Anthony Edwards, man.
Face of the league. Give it 2 years.
Hey, I think next year. I think he takes over next year, man.
He's got the potential. There's no doubt about that whatsoever.
He's building his legacy right now
Right now.
as the playoffs are going on.
All right, swapping gears. Let's look at the MLB favorites in the NL East. Who you got?
And then out East, man, I'm riding with my big guns. Phillies, they've been my favorite to make it to the World Series out of the National League for like this will be 3 years in a row that I've rocked with them. I just think that the team's really good, but like the Mets with bringing in Juan Soto, Lindor has been playing at a really high level, the last couple of years. Like it's gonna be tough, especially down the stretch. I know we're early on, but the Phillies just got back Ranger Suarez, which makes their pitching staff so much better. I know eventually we've talked about this before, but the Braves will get back Ronald Acuna, and then I think we're looking at a 3-horse race. They're going to run neck and neck all year long. Mets, Phillies, and Braves. It's gonna be a fun one to watch. I'm rocking with the Phillies though.
Even with the Braves 6 games back, give me the Braves, man. Because when Ronald Acuna comes back, I've said this time and time again, he is the heartbeat of that team. When he comes in and he's pimping balls the first pitch of the game, the entire team thrives off that. Spencer Strider, he obviously isn't fully healthy, but whenever he finally rounds out what he's still got going on and he gets back and you have both of them in your lineup, or you have Strider in the rotation and Acuna at the top of the lineup, man, the balls are going to be flying out in Atlanta. You're not going to want to play there. It's going to be a very hype place as long as Acuna stays healthy when he comes back, and which should be within the next month. He's going to be an absolute monster. Now you may 100%. I mean, I know there's some controversy going down there too. You may see a little less stolen base opportunities from Ronald Acuna because, I mean, he's obviously torn his ACL twice, and one of the times was stealing bases. So, but when he's on, man, he is on, and there's not a hitter in the East that can compete. And it's tough to say because you got Harper, you got Alonso, you got Soto. I mean, you have those guys, but Acuna, he's a freak of nature, man. He is an absolute monster at the plate. Pitchers don't want to pitch to him, and they would much rather go down they'd rather challenge every single Braves hitter than to face Ronald Acuna when he's healthy. So give me the Braves. Like I said, even though they're 6 games back, I see them coming back and probably winning by 4 or 5.
And more than likely, the 2 top teams at the top of the East are probably getting in the playoffs anyway. The winner of the division, and then they're probably going to get a wild card spot. I know it's going to be tough with them in the NL West because the NL West, they're going to have their teams, which we've talked about before. They're probably going to have 4 teams, one going for the division, the other 3 looking at that wild card spot.
Right.
But I think the East get 1, and I think the West get 2. So one of those top 3 teams, is it going to make it in the playoffs? The question is, who's it going to be? I would say the Mets are going to be the team that missed out on the playoffs out of the East. It's tough. It's tough. It's hard to say. It's very hard because they're on top right now. But
right
when you start looking down the road, like Acuna coming back, the Phillies lineup is not even hitting well right now. Like they've been up and down. It's been a roller coaster ride. We've seen Harper get hot as he started to kind of get there in that middle ground now. But like Trey Turner, he hasn't really picked up. We've seen Kyle Schwarber's been carrying that offense out there.
100%.
So I mean, I don't know. It's going to be tough. I'm excited to.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that October baseball. Especially in September.
You got Alec out there, he's batting like a 180. I mean, absolutely not the same guy we seen last year in that lineup whatsoever.
Yeah, which he will. He
Oh,
started off slow last year too, though, so he'll
yeah,
he'll he'll battle. He'll
he'll
battle.
come into form for sure. But that Juan Soto effect early on in New York is looking mighty juicy. So
Yeah,
money's looking well spent right now.
yeah. Especially now that he's hitting the ball, along
Right.
with he's been playing defense all year, which not known for. But well, I
I
think
get
Juan Soto he's hit 3 home runs in 2 games. Well, he didn't hit a home. He hit a home run in the first game of the doubleheader. He didn't hit one in the second, right?
this is what happens when you stay out when you don't answer media questions and you keep controversy out of the locker room. You just play baseball.
Yeah, which Juan Soto has handled extremely well. Like his struggles at the plate, he's voiced like, "Hey, my goal is to do what I can do to help my team winning. If I'm not hitting the ball, then I got to play defense." And he's played defense.
For
And
sure.
now that he's hitting the ball, like this Mets team, they got a good squad.
Oh yeah. Um, favorites from the AL East. I'm gonna go ahead and start this off. Give me the Red Sox. I got to see a little more from the rotation. Obviously, it's not a knock on the Yankees because the Yankees are playing really good. I mean, top to bottom on that hitting lineup, but so are the Red Sox, man. I mean, bringing in Alex Bregman is looking like an absolute steal. The Astros are probably kicking themselves not having that bat in their lineup. I know they wanted to call up Cam Smith and get a little bit younger, but their moves aren't working well for them. But the Red Sox have done a bunch of really good things, bringing in Crochet. As long as the rotation can finally, uh, I mean, if they can decide to keep the ball in the park, that Red Sox lineup, it's top to bottom pretty good compared to what else is in the East.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you here because like my team to win out of the American League to make it to the World Series, I have Red Sox Phillies as my early favorites before my preseason favorites to make it to the World Series.
Right.
I'm gonna have to keep rocking on this because, like you said, like I was big on the Alex Bregman move. It seemed to pay off. Alex Bregman's playing phenomenal. I think it's only a matter of time before Trevor Story starts picking up because he's a guy who's missed a lot of time due to injuries. And once he starts really picking up, and then Jarren Duran really starts getting the ball rolling. Like this Red Sox lineup is nasty, and then on top of that, you add in my favorite to win the Cy Young, which has looked my preseason favorite to win the Cy Young, which has looked like a good take is Garrett Crochet. So I mean, I like the Red Sox a lot. I think the Yankees, Red Sox, it's going to be a neck and neck race for the American League East, especially once they start playing each other a lot down the road. Those are going to be games that you're going to want to tune into if you don't even have to be a fan of the team. If you're just a fan of baseball, you're going to want to tune into that rivalry because we may be seeing them in the playoffs as well against each other. So,
There's some rumors going around that Trevor Story may end up getting traded. Um, I know they're kicking that around. I know that they're kicking around the possibility of potentially moving somebody like Christian Campbell in a deal. I
yeah,
don't know if that's for an arm or whatever. But you got those young guys like Marcelo Mayer and Roman Anthony
yeah.
knocking on the door, like they're ready to come up. They've
What's
got
it? Well, another thing to add to that, you were talking about Trevor Story getting traded. Well, Rafaela, he's a center fielder now, but he can play shortstop. He played shortstop in the minor league system. Now, is Marcelo Meyer ready? I'm not 100% sure on that, but we know Roman Anthony's ready. He's ready for the big leagues. You throw Roman Anthony in center field, and then you can throw Rafaela, in shortstop. So,
and it may be Rafaela that may have been who it was up in the air between them trading him and trading Trevor Story. Obviously, Story, like when he's healthy, we've seen what he can do. That guy's a 30
yeah,
plus bomb guy, like easily. So,
a
uh,
former rookie of the year back
right,
in been years ago,
years ago.
but I
shout
mean,
out,
hey,
shout out Colorado. Uh,
one thing about it, you don't ever lose it,
you're right.
brother.
Yeah. Now again, I'm not taking anything away from the Yankees because the Yankees definitely have the team. Max Fried is pitching like the best pitcher in baseball right now. If the rest of that rotation can follow his lead and the bats stay hot, because I mean, Aaron Judge is a freaking monster. There's no doubt that it can go either or, but I'm still going to take the Red Sox.
And it's only a matter of time before we see the Orioles, I feel like, bounce back too and really give both of them some trouble. I know the Blue Jays are kind of in the mix right now, and the Rays are always a competitor. Somehow they don't even have to put the best team out there, and they're somehow always competing. I feel like the Blue Jays, they're just not quite there yet. Like they need a few more pieces around, especially like I feel like their rotation's kind of weaker, not compared to the Yankees and the Red Sox. And I mean, that's the biggest downfall of the Orioles. You know, it's like losing a guy like Corbin Burns has put them at the bottom of the division.
Grayson
Whereas,
Rodriguez.
yeah, I mean, like the Orioles have made some very questionable moves that has led them from looking like the Orioles maybe on the brink of a dynasty to now they're struggling to even compete in the East. But they still got a lot of young talent, so I wouldn't count the Orioles out this early on.
And they still have a lot of young talent left to come up too. So we'll see. It's gonna be fun watching them grow and
Yeah.
continue to compete in that on that side of things. Last topic for baseball. Speaking of Aaron Judge, how long can Aaron Judge continue this dominant run? As of today, we are what's today's date? It is 4-4,
5-4.
and
5-4.
Aaron Judge, yeah, 5-4, 5-4, and Aaron Judge is currently at 423 with 55 hits and 11 bombs.
What's the strikeouts on that?
Uh, you had to ask me that. Let me see. Doo strikeouts 31, 55-31 ratio.
See, that's what I'm saying right there. You look at a guy like Aaron Judge with his stature, getting 55 hits and only striking out 31 times. And he's known for his power, but like this year we're seeing a different side of Aaron Judge. He's able to put it all together. The guy's seeing the ball well. He's seeing the ball better than anybody in baseball. Better than anybody we've seen see the ball in baseball in a really long time. The fact that he's able to just hit the ball over the fence almost anytime he really just wants to, but he's just getting on base and he's providing that offense for the Yankees that I mean, when you look at Cody Bellinger, a guy who struggled, he's not done well in that lineup. Some of the young guys like Wells and Volpe continue to struggle. You're looking at Jazz Chisholm; he was struggling, and you know he's always a matter of if he can stay healthy, which that's always going to be the lingering problem with Jazz Chisholm, it appears. So Judge being there, doing what he's doing, is what's keeping the Yankees in it. You know, without Aaron Judge, the Yankees are probably at the bottom of that division, man. Because
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and say the Yankees snagging a Goldschmidt from us.
yeah, that's what I was
Goldschmidt's
getting at.
hitting really well too, and I think that's playing into part with Judge batting or having the complete year he's had so far. Because I mean, he's also got 21 walks on the year. He's got a 510 on base percentage. So essentially, one in every two at bats he's getting on base. That's nuts. That's Barry Bonds
Yeah.
type
5'10".
type
Oh my
stats right
god.
there. Yeah,
5'10" is nuts, bro.
yeah, for sure.
And like that's the thing, like bringing in a veteran like Goldschmidt that can help your team with, you know. We obviously like St. Louis, he he struggled after his first year there, and like he didn't like. There's a lot of young people coming in, but a guy like Aaron Judge that's already a veteran, that's already won MVPs, and then you bring in a guy like Goldschmidt that can add to his game because Goldschmidt's always been known for his getting on base. He
Oh
does.
yeah,
He was known for not striking out a lot and getting on base a lot, and occasionally what come along with that was he would hit the ball out of the yard. Well, Aaron
30 plus
Judge,
the season.
yeah, Aaron Judge, like I mean, we've seen it with him. He can touch 60, you know. guy guy just putting the bat on the ball, man. You never know. Like Aaron Judge, can he continue the season that he's had this year? That is hard to say. But when we look at a guy that's 32 years old and is hitting the ball the way he is, Aaron Judge can do this for a long time, man. To change his game from being just simply power to a guy that can get on base, which last year was when he really started showing signs of Aaron Judge can put a lot of contact on the ball, along with hitting the ball hard. But like what he's doing this year was no one could have predicted this.
And,
No,
and
absolutely no one.
and solid plate discipline from Aaron Judge last year too. Like he was still a 320 hitter. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's after hitting like 150 in the first month of the season.
right. And he started off super cold, ended up finishing in the 322 with where we at? 58 bombs, 144
Yeah,
RBI,
that's nuts.
and 171 strikeouts to 180 hits. I mean,
It's
let's
in a
be honest.
lot better ratio now.
When you got a power hitter like Aaron Judge, any power hitter, you look at any power hitter like Bryce Harper, for instance. My man knows how to put the ball out of the park, but he strikes out a lot more than he gets hits most of the time. And you got a guy like Aaron Judge that's just as good, if not a little bit better than Bryce Harper putting the ball out of the yard. That's got a
Yeah.
ratio like this, that's hitting it more than he is striking out and getting the walks along with it, which Bryce Harper gets the walks too. I don't know. It's very hard to predict for Aaron Judge. He looks. I
Yeah.
I was truly expecting a nice regression from Aaron Judge this season, and so far, he's proven me and the other doubters wrong.
Yeah, especially his fantasy manager has definitely proven him wrong.
Yeah, that
So the guy that traded Aaron Judge for Mike Trout,
yeah.
expecting regression. I got the
Shout,
regression. The
shout,
regression came.
shout
The
out
regression came to me.
shout out to the Irish Unicorn. Traded Jazz Chisholm and Aaron Judge for Mike Trout and Logan Gilbert. Both both players are on the IR, and Aaron Judge is
Hey, oh, chill.
one of the best players in baseball and fantasy.
Uh, hey,
Hey,
man.
hey, so,
And,
listen.
and and I'm still second. I'm still second.
Hey, you can't win them all. Okay, you can't win them all.
You
Just
can't.
like me, even though I'm 4-0, about to be 5-0, you can't win them all.
Oh God. Here we go. All right. You're gonna strike. You're gonna strike out eventually.
Oh yeah, I mean, I should have this week, but luckily I played a team like Sluggers that didn't know what he was doing. All right, last topic of the night. We're gonna touch briefly on the NFL. Top five NFL teams. Um, super early preseason rankings. Who you got going in?
um, I'm gonna take the Detroit Lions as definitely one of the top five teams, especially with some of the like. I don't know. I've seen some videos of Aiden Hutchinson coming out. I don't know how healthy he's really going to be coming into this year because he's still favoring pretty heavily on that leg. I noticed in his little drills and build-ups. But I mean, obviously, you just look at the offense of that team, man. They just keep adding on. Like the Lions' offense is just going to keep them in it. Over a period of time. Uh, Another team I want to throw in there in the top five. Probably most people may have them on the outside of their top five. I'm taking the Commanders, man. Jaden Daniels, what he's done there, and the fact that the Washington has been known for years for their defense, and bringing a guy like this at quarterback, this is going to be a complete game changer out there. And staying inside that division, you got the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to be a top five team for sure. Hate to say it, not a huge fan of the Eagles.
Same.
I'm gonna keep the Chiefs out of my top five here though. I don't see them. I don't see them. I love the draft that they had, but I don't see them finishing like I don't see them in the top five right now. But to add on to that, obviously in the top five, it wouldn't be a top five if I didn't count in Josh Allen. So I'm gonna have to keep the Bills in there. But my number one team, and this is my unanimous number one team, the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that team is too good, man. Derrick Henry. This is my unanimous best team in the NFL right now.
They they
What?
they
Yeah,
drafted well, brought in
that's what
DeAndre.
I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean,
What they did in the draft, man. I mean, and, another guy we didn't touch on in the draft is Mike Green. Mike Green is he's my number two pass rusher coming out of that draft. What that guy can do coming off the edge, obviously Abdul Carter was my number one. And I could not believe so many teams passed on Mike Green. Man, that Ravens team's unreal, man. They brought in Malachi Starks. They already got Hamilton back there. They probably have easily a top five. You could make the argument he may be the best middle linebacker in the game with Roquan Smith. It's going to be that Ravens
very
team
close.
stacked. That's right. I mean, obviously they have. You're looking at top five quarterback. I know the quarterback's a pretty stacked area in the NFL right now. But I mean, Lamar Jackson, you could easily count him as one and two with Josh Allen, with Patrick Mahomes just on the outside. Um, Yeah, I mean that's my take right there. The Ravens unanimous number one.
I will agree. Very early on rankings, I do have the Ravens as my unanimous number one as well. That's a very complete team, and the moves they've been making since the season ended, they're ready. They're ready for Lamar Jackson to get his ring and to quit listening to people say he's just MVP and he's not going to win one. Derrick Henry, he's ready to get one for sure. My number one. Um, my next four are actually my two outside looking in. I have the Commanders and the Rams. Even though the Rams dropped Cooper Cup, bringing in Devontae Adams in that offense along with Puka Nakua, they're going to be something. They're going to be something special. Matthew Stafford's always going to give them a chance to win, just like Jared Goff with the Lions. And then Jaden Daniels. I do expect to see the sophomore slump out of Jaden Daniels, but you can't deny the moves that they've been making, the guys they've been bringing in.
They
Um,
brought in Debo.
they
That
brought in
Debo move
Debo.
with Scary Terry.
They brought in offensive line help. They 100%. They're trying to make sure they get every bit they can out of this Jaden Daniels rookie contract because they know when it comes time to pay him, that man's going to break the bank, and that team is going to be
Yeah,
not the same.
yeah,
Uh, but those are my two outside looking in. The other guys, pretty much the same. I've got the Eagles, of course. Can't take them out of it. Lions, of course. Bills, of course. Reigning MVP and Josh Allen. I am going to put the Chiefs in there. You can't have a top five without Patrick Mahomes in it, unfortunately. And I know he's everybody's media boy that everybody loves to when in doubt put him in there, but they're going to be at the top of that division. The Chargers did make moves to actually push for them this year. The Raiders did too. The Broncos, but even though the pass can be a little bit harder for the Chiefs, I do think the Chiefs are still going to dominate their division, and I think they're going to dominate, get in the playoffs, and we're going to see a team that after last year is going to have something to prove.
yeah. I mean, I had the Chiefs on the outside looking in. Another team that you were talking about, the Rams. I like the Rams, but the other team in Los Angeles is a team that like I would have on my outside looking in than just on the outside of the top five because of what Harbaugh does as a head coach. You know, he's always been a phenomenal head coach throughout his entire career. He's built a really good relationship with his quarterback, which can go a long ways. We've seen that with Miami, with Mike McDaniels and Tua as well. Which I have the Dolphins just on the outside looking in too, because they have a lot of. I'll probably put the Dolphins on the outside of the top 10, just because they have a lot of needs. You know, it's hard to
Right.
win. It's hard to win in the NFL when you got a lot of holes. You know, in your lineup and stuff. But I like that Chargers team a lot. I expect the Chargers to have a really good year and be just outside the top five.
I've definitely my top 10. Like I said, I've got the Commanders, I've got the Rams. Surprisingly enough, outside the top 10 are the 49ers for me.
I was
Uh,
that's what I was thinking about the 49ers. Like, where would you put the 49ers was my question.
I've got them 11 or 12 personally. I've got Packers 10. Um, I'm gonna say sneaking past. They're interchangeable, really. 9 and 10. My Packers and the Bucks. When the Bucks get Chris Godwin back, that team with Baker Mayfield at the helm, they're
I love
deadly.
Baker Mayfield.
And then of course I've got the Chargers just in front of them because the pieces that they've added from the draft and the absolute steal they got from Lab McConkey last year. That team,
Yeah,
they're gonna make some noise. The Chiefs definitely have their word cut out for them.
yeah,
But I still think the Chiefs edge them. They're gonna look really good, and I don't give it 2 or 3 years before the Chiefs start finishing. Behind the
yeah.
Chargers,
Because I like
potentially the Broncos.
I like the way the Chargers have really filled their holes in their lineup. Like, because like I was referring to the Dolphins, we have a lot of holes, but like the Chargers, we always knew, there was always that conversation between Tua and Herbert. Like, did the Dolphins make the right choice by drafting Tua ahead of Herbert? That's still up for debate. Both are going to have really good NFL careers if Tua can stay out there.
Right.
But the way that you seen the Chargers, you were like, man, the Chargers are just so close to being a really good team. You know, with the way Herbert was playing quarterback, but they were just they were losing close games. You know, shout out to the Jaguars, and
Right.
and it was like, what do the Chargers need? And Jim Harbaugh came in, and it feels like he's really filled those holes nicely. And the Chargers actually look like they could be a team that look out for this year.
Well, let's be honest. Harbaugh didn't come back to the NFL to be a mediocre coach. He
Right.
had he had the setup at Michigan. He come back because he seen a franchise that he could turn around and win a lot of ball games with, especially with a quarterback like Herbert at the helm. So, um,
I
yeah.
got I got another question for you. What's the odds that we see the two brothers battle it out for the Super Bowl?
Um,
That'd be pretty cool though. That'd be fun to watch, man.
I'm gonna be honest. It really depends. It depends on if my take about the Chiefs are wrong and the Chargers are they're actually that team in that division. Because the Chargers are getting to the playoffs and they play good football this go around, and they play that Harbaugh smack you in the mouth football.
Yeah.
We might see it. We might see it, and it might end up going the other way this go around.
Yeah, we might be looking at the Harbaughs going at it for years in the AFC right now.
Oh yeah. But anyway, that wraps up this podcast this week. Let's jump over to best bets of the week.
Best bets of the week.
All right, Cinco de Mayo, best bets. Opie, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Brian Reynolds over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting a 359 against Michaelis and 39 at bats. Pretty good take there. Also, I'm going to take Pete Alonso over 1.5 bases. He has 3 home runs and 9 at bats versus Ryan Nelson. So yeah, give me Pete Alonso for over 1.5 bases.
Awesome. I'm taking Brendan Donovan, Paul Goldschmidt, and Jose Altuve, all 1+ hits tomorrow. Gonna keep it easy for y'all. Jose Altuve's coming off a 0 for 4 day, 2 strikeouts. I like him in this bounce back spot. So give me them 1+ hits, make it easy. Y'all can parlay that or however you feel, but that's what I like for May 5th. All right, May 6th, MLB best bets. Give me Wyatt Langford over 1.5 total bases, and I'm going to take Bo Bichette over 1.5 total bases. He's batting a 750 against Tyler Anderson. He's 3 for 4 at the plate against him. Seeing him well and with a bomb, I definitely see him taking 2+ hits at least on the day.
Now, give me Freddie Freeman for over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting a 529 against Cal Quantrill. And also, I'm going to take Randall Grichuk for over 1.5 bases. He's hitting 417 versus Doug Peterson.
All right, May 7th, best bets. Opie, what you got there?
I'm taking George Springer for over 1.5 bases. I'm going to stick to the over 1.5 bases here. And he's hitting a 438 against Kikuchi. So I'm going to take him for the over 1.5 bases. And then give me Wilson Contreras for over 1.5 bases. Hitting a 318 versus Keller. Not typically what you would expect from a betting standpoint, but Wilson Contreras has been on an absolute heater.
All right, in this spot, May 7th, give me Aaron Judge over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. The man's getting on base at a high tune of 510. So give me him, whether that's hitting and getting on or him getting on and going all the way around. He's going against Dylan Cease that day. Cease has not been pitching well this season. I like him in this spot, especially with how hot Aaron Judge has been. On the flip side of that, give me Bobby Witt Jr. over 1.5 total bases. He's batting a 429 against Cannon. I don't think Cannon's ready for Bobby Witt. Bobby Witt is the face of the MLB, and without a doubt, he's going to show it May 7th.
Yeah, I love Bobby Witt.
Oh, yeah. All right, that's our best bets take for the 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm Red Samples.
Austin Harris.
Side picks. We'll see y'all. Roll Tide.
Okay.
Roll Tide.